Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week.
Belarus is known as the last dictatorship in Europe. They wouldn't have achieved that elevated position if they had a weak military formation. Their military is among the most feared on the planet thanks to the insane training these men and women get. The Interior Ministry in Belarus is in charge of the military, and it proposes the training courses used to test the physical and mental fitness of the soldiers. These people are made to pass the test by overcoming adverse conditions. Servicemen from the special unit are among the toughest you'll see across the world. They prove their dogness by passing extreme courses and getting accepted into the ministry's elite Red Beret. The initial test is a 10-kilometer quick march followed by an assault course, hand-to-hand fighting, acrobatics, and storming a high-rise building. To make the test more intense, the commanders knock recruits off the balance beam with live gunfire and car tires. Okay, while I find most training on this list crazy, this one is totally out of this world. Gone are the days when military exercises were restricted to push-ups and a few obstacle courses. Today, the training comes with a most unimaginable twist. One of such new introductions is what the US Marines are practicing, and it requires soldiers to drink cobra blood and rib the heads of chickens with their bare teeth. Yikes. The military holds an 11-day exercise called Cobra Gold yearly in Thailand. About 13,000 soldiers from the US, Indonesia, Singapore, Japan, and South Korea participate in the activity. The course covers humanitarian relief, amphibious assault, and jungle survival techniques. After teaching them to kill cobras properly, the Marine instructors are encouraged to drink the animal's blood. The blood is said to contain the requisite nutrient to sustain the soldier in case of an emergency. Russia prides itself as one of the most potent military powers in the world. It's the dream of smaller countries to boost their military might to half of Russia's strength. Countries like the US are always at loggerheads with their Russian counterpart. An attack from both sides is unpredictable. The Russian special forces are aware of the threats around them and are prepared for them. From domestic to international criminals, the country is surrounded by countless enemies. Recruits are subjected to dangerous exercises to prove that they can handle the job. The activities are part of Russia's specialized confidence training course. The oddest of them all is a daring technique which includes shooting each other in the chest. The idea behind it is to prepare the men in case they're shot. While some soldiers are wounded in the process, others are lucky to have the bullets hit their vests. Regardless of the outcome, the men must return fire immediately and accurately. Navy SEALs are known to perform some of the craziest and secretive jobs in the world. Of course, they're not letting you in on their plans because doing so would ruin it. However, we trust their skills as they put their life on the line for the country. As much as you admire their courage and patriotism, you probably don't know how these brave men train for the job. Navy SEAL trainees are made to endure cold water conditioning or extreme surf torture. What's this about, you may ask? The men are first covered in mud head to toe with their arms and legs tied together. They must then bob up and down 20 times, float for 5 minutes, swim to the shallow end of the pool, and spin without touching the bottom of the pool. After that, they are made to retrieve a face mask from the bottom of the pool. To make matters worse, an instructor attacks the trainees in the pool to simulate a combative drowning victim. Cold water causes the tightening of blood vessels, which helps to push out lactic acid. The Navy SEAL understands this therapy and doesn't joke with every detail.
1, 2!
The Royal Marines Mud Run is the most grueling part of a 32-week training course expected to turn civilians into commandos. When a recruit has passed this stage, he is said to be fit and overcome all life's challenges. Since it is not a pleasant experience, most recruits dread it. They're forced to spend up to 45 minutes performing extreme tasks in the mud that is so thick that they can barely move. This obstacle makes them demoralized and exhausted as they're covered in sea sludge. Their uniforms do not even offer protection from the mud. As they lay there in the thick mire, their superiors order them to do press-ups and crawl on their hands and knees through the shore. The challenges do not deter the trainees as excelling in the test earns them a coveted green beret they've always dreamed of. Trainees say the mud run is the most challenging part of their training. After the messy task, they look forward to a cold hosing down. Training as a soldier is no easy feat. These guys put their lives at risk during training and even on the battlefront. For them, it's about protecting their country and defending its sovereignty despite the odds. This training requires great discipline, courage, and precision because these men could be called for battle at any time. Soldiers in China take training to extreme with their hand grenade hot potato exercise. The task is meant to harden the soldiers and prepare them for just any disaster. The exercise is a life and death game played with hand grenades. The pin is pulled as the men huddle in a circle and pass the explosive to one another. The game continues until the last soldier holds the grenade and throws it into a home and dives for cover while it explodes. This game is like seeing life and death, but choosing the latter. Virtually all the activities discussed here are brutal and terrifying. However, one is laced with mixed feelings, depending on how you look at it. If you're an adrenaline junkie and a lover of suspense, you may enjoy the circus antics of military training. This activity allows Chinese soldiers to jump through rings of fire. However, this is not a circus performance. It's military training that is not new to people who watch war movies. In the middle of the battlefield where gunpowder is used, the chances are that there would be pockets of fire around the field. In such cases, the soldier must find their way around. This training ensures that soldiers are not afraid of walking between the fire in those conditions. You'll agree with me that a real-life battleground and a make-believe one are different. Many trainees end up with injuries and burns after walking through fire. Let's get to the funny part of these insane exercises for a minute. Yes, there are many physically and mentally draining activities in the military, but there are funny ones too. In the Philippines, for instance, the army isn't just about teaching soldiers to survive harsh conditions in the jungle, it's also concerned with balance and posture. This is what the officers had in mind when they initiated the banana exercise. Philippine soldiers have to balance a banana on top of their heads while they're eating lunch. This seems like a task preschoolers would gladly participate in, but there's more to it. It requires a great deal of psychological strength and balance. All you have to do is rest the fruit on your head and have lunch without letting it fall off. The punishment for allowing it to drop is to eat the banana, but not the traditional way. The peels have to be munched and swallowed too. Female Marines have performed in armor, airborne, field artillery, and other combat duties. In most of the movies I've seen, I've always envied the sniper guy. I mean, he's far from the main action and has a simple assignment. We think of the sniper position as the easiest task in the military since they're seemingly hidden from the enemies. Well, they aren't as safe as we think because it takes an enemy to spot you and bring you down with a single shot. While they are not foot soldiers, they also undergo some of the most insane military exercises you don't want to imagine. One of such exercises is sniper training involving some of the weirdest concepts ever. Staying in camouflage is crucial to the success of a sniper's job. It's so critical to the United States Marine Scout that snipers have to wear their ghillie suits and immerse themselves in a pool of rotting vegetation and stagnant water. They have to perform other exercises while being bathed in that stinky suit. This training goes on for a month before they graduate into another level. Snipers are accepted into the military based on their patience, mental stability, aptitude, physical ability, and marksmanship.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
The Road to Heaven exercise teaches trainees to conquer pain even as they cross razor-sharp rocks. It is a heartbreaking sight to watch. One would have thought that the road to heaven should be smooth and filled with pleasant surprises. Apparently, the Taiwan military thinks otherwise. One way to get their soldiers physically and mentally fit for the task of protecting their region is by engaging them in an exercise as bizarre as this one. This task ensures that soldiers who pass through this training can endure even the harshest battle conditions. The Road to Heaven test is the final stage of a 9-week intensive amphibious training program where trainees must execute various exercises. One of such tasks is doing a leopard crawl along a 150 feet long path littered with jagged corals and rocks. With their hands on the side, recruits slowly crawl across the rough terrain as they experience extreme pain. To make matters worse, anyone built to participate in the Road to Heaven has to be awake for 4 days non-stop, making the course even more challenging. If an instructor isn't satisfied with a recruit's form, they're ordered to start again. Those with open wounds will still have to endure the pain of salt water on the affected area. There you have it. These are the most insane military exercises ever. Do you think these tasks are worth it? Would you allow your best friend to join the military knowing they could lose their lives during training? Please tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to stay updated with our latest content. Until another scintillating episode, adios.